Are you looking for some fun, simple ideas for decorating your next batch of cookies? All right, in this video, I'm gonna share some ideas that are perfect for beginners, but also look, well, too pretty to eat. All right, let's dive in. All right, I wanna go over some of the stuff that I have here. So to start, I obviously have all of my tools. I always have like my scissors, my boo-boo stick, my scribe tool. I've got some blank cookies here. I'm gonna show you how to do some rosettes. We're gonna do some stenciling. We're gonna be doing some sprinkles today too. So I wanna start with the stenciling. So I've got a stencil here, and you can use any stencil design that you like, whatever suits you. You can choose a floral pattern, kind of got like a lace pattern here. And I have a heart cookie that is flooded. You know what I'm gonna do first? I'm gonna show you, actually, I'm gonna show you how to do the rosette first. And we're gonna use our really thick, I've got a really thick pink icing here. So this is kind of like, it's out of the mixer, and then I added a little bit of powdered sugar to thicken it up. And I've got a 1M tip here. This is a Wilton 1M tip. So it's like a really nice star tip. And let me show you a really easy way to do some rosettes, some florals. You take your thick icing bag with your 1M tip, and we're gonna swirl it on. So, and it's gonna look like a rose. It's really pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna start in the center. Here we go, and you kind of push down, and then you put the pressure on. And now when you get to the edge, you lift off. And there we go. Look at that. Really nice, easy rosette. Look at that. All right, I'm gonna do another one. It's so fun doing these. And they're really quick too. Make sure you have a damp rag handy or some paper towels or something. You're gonna get icing everywhere. Okay, so I'm gonna try it again. And again, you're gonna put on some pressure, make sure that it sticks kind of in the middle of the cookie, and then you're gonna swirl. And I'm really heavy-handed. I'm really putting on the pressure. I want all of that to squeeze out nicely. I'm going kind of a little further around the edge. What you don't wanna do, so here, I'm gonna show you, you don't wanna be pushing and kind of moving the icing down, right? Like if you did that, you can get a decent one, but you wanna push it down, and then you're just kind of, the tip is a little bit above the cookie, and you're just letting it lay down. So that's kind of one of the secrets to doing these really pretty rosettes. So I need this thick icing to do my stenciling now. That's why I wanted to do it first. So I'm gonna clean that off. And guess what? I'm going to clean off this icing because I need this space now. I've got a heart that is flooded and dried. So this is really nice and super dry. And I wanna get a two-tone look on it. So the really fun thing with stenciling is you can do kind of a thick icing, or you can do it a little bit thinner, like a thinner layer. And that's what I'm gonna do today. Sometimes I would like doing that really thick look, and it gets like a 3D effect. But on this one, because it's kind of a little bit smaller, this cookie is a little bit smaller, I wanna do a thin layer. And so let's see, I'm laying down my stencil. I'm trying to decide which way do I want it to appear? Like how much do I wanna be stenciled? Do I wanna have any blank cookie showing? I think I wanna do the whole thing. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna lay it here. And you don't need any other special tools. I happen to have my thick icing and it has a star tip, that's okay. So what I'm gonna do is just put some on, okay? And I'm kind of holding my stencil in place. And now I'm going to push down, scrape off. Okay, I'm gonna scrape down this way, just scrape that icing across. And this is spot right there. And now because your icing is so thick, the stencil should stay there. One of the biggest mistakes I see is that people try and do this kind of stenciling when their icing is too thin. You want your icing to be really nice and thick. I'm gonna scrape off the excess because I want kind of a thinner layer. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Oh my gosh. This is always so fun. I love this part. Now, what I need to do though, is we've got these little edges here. I wanna take those off. I mean, if you like them, you can keep them on. But I've got my boo-boo stick. You could use your scribe tool too. But I'm just gonna take those little bits off so that it only goes to like the edge of the cookie. Okay. And hey, guess what? If it doesn't turn out for you the first time, it's okay. Try it again. Have a bunch of flooded cookies that you can test this out on, or you can even just test it out on a graham cracker or a paper towel or something if you don't have cookies around. You don't have to have a flooded cookie to try this out. There we go. How easy is that? And look at the results. This is one of my favorites. Okay, now I want to show you a wet on wet technique. It's also pretty simple. I've got a blank cookie here, and I've got some icings. So my yellow here is like an outline consistency. So that is going to be what I use to outline the cookie. I'm gonna flood it first with this yellow, this really pretty yellow. And then I'm going to also do some flooding in there with this purple to get that wet on wet technique. And I'm a sucker for hearts, so we're kind of gonna be doing some hearts today. All right, so these icing bags, they're full, but I haven't cut the ends off, so I'm gonna cut them now. Always make sure my ends are cut off to the side so they don't get in my flood. I've had that happen before. Luckily not on any cookie orders or anything, but have had that happen, so nobody wants to eat plastic. Make sure you don't get your tips in there. Okay, so let's start with the outline. I'm gonna do it in this color. There we go. And if you get an air bubble and it splits like that, that's okay, just go back and fill that in. I'm stopping at each corner because I really want more of a sharp edge. There we go. I'm gonna test this out here. Perfect. Right now we're just gonna fill it. I always like to do my edges first, but make sure that you're not pushing the edges out or anything. You just wanna kind of lay that flood down right next to it. All right, and then we're gonna fill it in. Make sure you don't overfill. Because I'm gonna be adding some more icing, I kind of do more of a looser fill or flood. I am gonna smooth it out. This is one of my favorite ways to smooth it out. If you're like me, maybe you're a little bit impatient. I don't wanna wait for the flood to settle. I wanna help it. Okay. There we go. And now I wanna do some hearts. So I'm gonna show you a couple ways to do hearts, okay? So one of my favorites is you just do a dot. I'm gonna do a few here. And then you take your scribe, make sure it's clean, and then you go from the top here, swipe all the way through, and then make sure you clean it off before the next one. And then when that settles, you're gonna have heart left over. And you can make them as long or as short as you want. I just try and make sure that that little end gets settled in there. So that's one way you can do hearts like this. The other way is do a dot and then drag. So this design is gonna be a blend since I'm showing you both of these on one cookie here. But I love both of these. A couple of heart techniques that you can do wet on wet, and you can make whatever design you want. Mine's looking a little funky today, but I wanted to show you both of those. We're gonna dig into some sprinkles. I'm gonna throw some sprinkles on some cookies here. But before I do that, I wanna thank you so much for watching this video. If you wanna amaze your family and friends with the most awesome looking cookies they've ever seen, you are in the right place. This channel is where deliciousness meets joy, and we're all about having fun with cookies. We'll show you how to make cookies that look impressive, but are easy to make. Please do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and share this channel with any of your friends that you think would like to join you. It really, really does help out. All right, thank you so much again. Let's get back to the video. For my last cookie here, I love hearts, so we're gonna do some sprinkles on a heart here, and I'm gonna go ahead and flood it again. And you might be thinking, okay, I can throw sprinkles on cookies. Let me show you the way that I do it so that it doesn't look like you just dumped sprinkles on cookies. I'm gonna show you how to do it so that they look artistically done. All right, I've got my outline. We're gonna flood here. One thing I do, I actually wait just a little bit. I don't throw sprinkles on right away on a flood. Sometimes the sprinkles can kind of sink to the bottom, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna wait just a minute, not until it crusts over, but just a little bit, and then I'll show you how to put those sprinkles on. So I've let it sit for just like a minute or two. I'm gonna grab my sprinkles now. I've got some pretty blue and yellow, bright blue sprinkles and white. So I'm gonna use my fingers. I'm gonna drop a few on just in like one spot. I'm not gonna drop them all over. And then what I like to do is I use some tweezers and I grab some of the sprinkles that maybe some bigger pieces of the sprinkle and I place them on there. I also try and make sure that there's no sprinkles kind of overhanging and then they're not like all over the place, you know? These cute stars on here. I think I want a couple more. There's like a few star. So I put on a few more. I'm gonna push that one in just to make sure it's not hanging over the edge. Okay, so my sprinkles are on. I love how they're placed. You can place them however you want, but if you want that artistic look, this is a really simple way to do it. Grab some tweezers, place a few extra sprinkles on your cookie, and it'll look like a pro did them. How fun are these? Oh my gosh, we've got our rosettes, we've got our stenciling, we've got some wet on wet hearts. So Really easy cookies that look amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. There is nothing I love more than getting together with family and sharing cookies that look amazing and taste even better. I mean, who doesn't love that, right? One of my favorite designs are these cute heart-shaped pizza cookies. They always make a splash, and best of all, they're super easy to make. If you want to whip up a batch, then make sure to grab my heart pizza cookie icing transfer templates, available for free by clicking the link in the description below. They're so easy, so fun, and you're gonna love them. So go click the link, download those icing transfer templates right now.